Academy Awards are one of Hollywood's most anticipated events, gathering the industry together to watch some of the greatest films of the year compete for elite titles. With so much variety to choose from, combined with the often wide discrepancy between audiences and Academy members, there have been more than a few unexpected results over the years. Here we are going to see the biggest shock winners in the history of the Academy Awards. How many of these moments do you remember? Let's go and find out. Best Actor Anthony Hopkins. The biggest shock winner of the night was Sir Anthony Hopkins, who won the Best Actor award for his role in The Father. Many viewers were surprised by the win, as it appears the category was moved to the end of the show in anticipation of a tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman. Even Hopkins did not show up to the ceremony, neither in person or via video, though the morning after he shared a video on social media addressing his win. At 83 years of age, I did not expect to get this award, I really didn't, he said, standing outside his home in Wales. While he was grateful to the Academy, he maintained that he really did not think he was going to win, and he paid a short tribute to Boseman as well. Other nominees for the award included Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal, Gary Oldman, Mank, and Stephen Yeun, Minari. The shock was so widespread that people began drawing comparisons between the end of this year's Oscars with that of 2017, where the event ended on La La Land, accidentally being announced for Best Picture instead of actual winner, Moonlight, except this time there was no mistake. Best Actor, 2021. Boseman was a favorite in the run for Best Actor this year for his role in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and many found his snub as a total surprise. Hopkins added in his video, "I want to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who was taken from us far too early." Best Director and Best Picture, 2020. With Hollywood favorites like Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Martin Scorsese, The Irishman, and Sam Mendes' 1917, in the running, many placed their bets on the recurring greats. But it was Bong Joon-ho, Parasite, a South Korean director with a foreign-language film who had never received an Oscar nod before, who took both top honors. He also made history as the first Asian filmmaker to receive Best Director, Best Picture, Best Original Screenplay, and Best International Feature for one film. Best Picture, 2006. The beautifully tragic gay western, Brokeback Mountain, starring Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, had already won the public over, so naturally it seemed poised to earn Best Picture. The top honor, however, went to Paul Haggis' drama, Crash, forever staining the Oscars' reputation with this inexplicable surprise. Best Supporting Actress, 1997. Lauren Bacall, then 72, had been in the industry for more than 50 years when she received her first nomination ever, this in the Best Supporting Actress category, for her role in The Mirror Has Two Faces. She had all that Hollywood nostalgia going for her. But it was French actress Juliette Binoche who took the award home, for her performance in The English Patient. Even Binoche admitted on stage that she expected Bacall to win. Best Actress, 1955. Judy Garland's incredible career had gone unrecognized by the Academy Awards until she was expected to win the Best Actress Oscar for her role in A Star is Born. The prize, however, went to Grace Kelly for The Country Girl. At the time, Kelly was only a few years into her acting career. Best Supporting Actress, 1993. Marisa Tomei, though now an accomplished actress, was the least obvious choice among accomplished talents like Judy Davis, Vanessa Redgrave, Miranda Richardson, and Joan Plowright. No one could have expected Tomei would win, much less for her role in My Cousin Vinny, and rumors began to float that her win was actually a mistake. Best Picture, 1995. Pulp Fiction and The Shawshank Redemption were extremely strong contenders for Best Picture, and the popularity of both films has remained monumental. Yet, for reasons that have only become more bewildering as the years progress, the award went to Forrest Gump instead. Best Director, 1991. Martin Scorsese's gangster classic, Goodfellas, seemed to make him a shoe-in winner for the Best Director category. But the iconic director lost out to Kevin Costner, who directed and starred in Dances with Wolves. Best Picture, 1977. In 1977, it seemed that either All the President's Men or Network were going to take home Best Picture. But many movie lovers were surprised when Rocky, starring Sylvester Stallone, was announced as the winner instead. Best Picture, 1999. Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan was widely believed to be the favorite for Best Picture. But in the end, it was Shakespeare in Love that took home the award. Many whispers spread arguing that Harvey Weinstein paid to increase the odds in his film's favor. Best Actor, 2003. The nominees for Best Actor in 2003 included enormous Hollywood names, such as frontrunners Daniel Day-Lewis, Gangs of New York, and Jack Nicholson, About Schmidt. However, it was the lesser-known Adrien Brody who won the Oscar in the end, for his role in The Pianist. Best Director, 1973. With the massive success of The Godfather, nearly everyone expected to see Francis Ford Coppola walk onto the stage to accept the award for Best Director. To everyone's surprise, however, it was Bob Fosse who took home the trophy for his work on Cabaret. Best Picture, 1942. Orson Welles' Citizen Kane has been considered one of the greatest films ever made, so you can imagine people's surprise when it lost the race for Best Picture. Instead, the award went to John Ford's How Green Was My Valley. Best Supporting Actress, 2001. In 2001, several big names were in the running for Best Supporting Actress, including Kate Hudson, Almost Famous, Judi Dench, Chocolat, and Frances McDormand, Almost Famous. To everyone's surprise, Marcia Gay Harden took home the Oscar for her role in Pollock, even though her performance was not recognized at the Golden Globes, SAG Awards, or BAFTAs. Best Picture, 1953. In a time where westerns were thriving, High Noon, directed by Fred Zinnemann, was tipped to win for Best Picture. Instead, it was The Greatest Show on Earth, starring Charlton Heston and Betty Hutton, that took home the night's biggest prize. Best Supporting Actress, 1977. Jodie Foster, Taxi Driver, and Piper Laurie Carey were in the running for Best Supporting Actress, but they lost out to someone who appeared on screen for less than 6 minutes. Beatrice Straight won the Oscar for her role in Network, though she appeared in the film for just 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Unsurprisingly, she set the record for winning an Oscar with the least amount of screen time. Best Original Song, 2006. Movie lovers everywhere were surprised when Memphis rap group 3 6 Mafia won the Oscar for Best Original Song. Their track, It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp, was featured in the film Hustle and Flow, which starred Terrence Howard. For anyone keeping record, then-host Jon Stewart joked, Martin Scorsese, 0 Oscars. For 3 6 Mafia, 1. Best Actor, 1999. Edward Norton, American History X, Nick Nolte, Affliction, and Tom Hanks, Saving Private Ryan, were all strong contenders for Best Actor in 1999. But the award went to Roberto Benigni, for his role in Life is Beautiful, which also won Best Foreign Language Film that night. Best Supporting Actress, 1994. Winona Ryder's performance in Martin Scorsese's The Age of Innocence seemed to be the favorite, with other strong contenders like Rosie Perez, Fearless, Emma Thompson, In the Name of the Father, and Holly Hunter, The Firm, also vying for Best Supporting Actress. Instead, 11-year-old Anna Paquin, a first-time actress in The Piano, was announced as the winner. You can tell from this photo that it took her by surprise as well. Best Adapted Screenplay, 2010. Armando Iannucci's In the Loop and Jason Reitman's Up in the Air were favorites in the category for Best Adapted Screenplay. It was Jeffrey Fletcher, however, who ended up winning the Oscar for his work on the film Precious. Best Picture, 2011. The Oscar for Best Picture seemed destined for either 127 Hours, The Social Network, or The Fighter. Many were shocked when the award went to The King's Speech instead, which was a great film that showcased Colin Firth's talent but ultimately seemed a bizarre choice. Best Picture, 2017. By 2017, people had become accustomed to expecting certain choices by the Academy, which is why it seemed La La Land was tipped to win Best Picture. But after a mistaken announcement that La La Land had won, the true victor of the night was revealed, Moonlight. The shock was tangible. Best Picture, 2019. Many believed that Alfonso Cuarón's Roma would make history both as the first Netflix film to win Best Picture and as the first foreign language film to surpass English contenders. And yet, against Roma, Black Panther, BlacKkKlansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, A Star is Born, and Vice, Best Picture was awarded to Green Book. Best Actress, 2019. Receiving her 7th Oscar nomination for her role in The Wife, many thought Glenn Close would finally have her moment on stage at the Academy Awards. But they were wrong. Even Olivia Colman was surprised when she was named Best Actress for her role in The Favorite. She gave a shout-out to Glenn Close, adding, "This is not how I wanted it to be, and I think you're amazing, and I love you very much." Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe for more information.